Hello, all you wonderful people. Welcome back again to the Fluffy Cow Studio. Today we are making some pumpkins for Halloween. I started by taking these Dollar Tree stackable pumpkins and I spray painted them white with the flat 2X Rust-Oleum paint. Now I'm taking some Mod Podge and I am going to put it on 2 of those sections. Then I take my little napkin I got off of Temu, my checkered, black and white checkered napkin. They're only 2 ply, so I pulled the 1 ply apart, and I'm just putting the checkered one on here. Then I am taking my little razor, because I can't find my craft knife, and I'm just cutting along the edge there. And I'm going to cut off any excess that is on there. And then I am going to Mod Podge over the top of it. Now I didn't have any issues with this, but it probably would have been better if I had Mod Podged it on the top after it had dried. And I'm going to go over 2 sections, and then I'm going to go to the next 2 sections and do the same thing. I'm going to take my napkin, I'm going to Mod Podge it on, making sure I get in the creases. And then I'm going to take my razor and go all around it, cutting off the excess. I'm just rubbing it down there too, making sure I'm getting all the little bumps and bubbles and anything out. And then I'm cutting the other side, the excess off. And then I just put a little more Mod Podge over the top, and I put the rest down over the edge, and now I'm Mod Podging over the top. But like I said, it would have been better if I had have done it when it was dry. Then I go over 2 more sections and take 2 more sections of that pumpkin and do the same thing. Put my Mod Podge on, put my napkin on, and get all of the little bumps and lumps and unwanted boo-boos out. And then I take my knife and I cut the excess off. And I do that with all 3 of my pumpkins. Now, they each had 12 sections, I think is what I counted, on all of the pumpkins. And so 2 of them, or three sections of 2 had, I put the black and white checkered, and then the inside, the ones that aren't checkered and don't have the Mod Podge on, I painted. And I'm not sure if okay, now I'm taking the orange. I don't know that I showed doing all 3 because I didn't want it to be too long and bore you. So now I'm painting this outrageous orange. It may even be jack-o'-lantern orange, I'm not really quite sure. Any orange will work that you like the looks of the paint. And this is apple barrel acrylic. And I did have to do 2 coats because after it got dry, you could tell it needed 2 coats. Oh, okay, and now I'm doing one in the petunia purple. And even though these get smaller, the sections get smaller, but there's still 12 of them on there. Now my pumpkins don't stack on each other too well. The other one, the little one, is I did it with green, and that is spring green. Now I am taking these little cows that I got off, I got these off of Pinterest. And I'm pretty sure that they were free ones. They do not have a watermark on them, and they do not have a copyright on them anywhere. And I'm going to Mod Podge these little cows on the orange part. I'm just cutting this down to size. You know, I like my cows. I gotta have my cows on everything. One of these days I'll probably get sick of cows. I guess after how many years? I'm not going to say how many years. Being on the farm, I guess I am not going to get sick of cows after this long. And then I'm going to Mod Podge over the top of them once I get all the little bubbles and wrinkles and goobers off. And I got one more I'm going to put on. And I'm just going to put him on there, get him where I want, get all the little wrinkles and goobers and bubbles and whatnots off there. Now this one was a little odd, and I needed to kind of cut it so that it would sit flat. So you see me doing that. Okay, now on the purple one, I took these, I did, like I said in a previous video, I did print me off some candy corn, and I'm just cutting them out. I put about 9 of them on each one of these purple sections. After I get them cut off. The first ones I do use a glue stick, but when I went to put them on with the Mod Podge on, they just kind of lifted and they didn't work really well. So the next ones I just Mod Podged and then stuck them right on. It still worked okay, but and maybe if I had to let it sit a little bit longer, maybe it would have been a little bit better. And I do that on all 3 of the purple sections. Because I didn't wait, and I don't think I waited. And that's why I was having such issue, I think, because I didn't wait till it kind of got dry. Okay, but anyway, I did, and then on these green ones, I'm taking the brush, the end of the brush, the opposite end of the brush, and I'm just putting polka dots, black polka dots on the green sections. I look like I'm dancing when I do that. I'm really not. Probably if I didn't have it so fast it wouldn't look like that. Just putting some little polka dots on there. Getting into my work. Okay, now here is the final of the pumpkins. I got it kind of staged, and that is them stacked, but like I said, my pumpkins didn't stack. I couldn't get any of them to clip in or click in or hold. So this is what it looks like stacked. And I'm also going to show you what you can do if you don't want to stack them. Okay, here I've got a little fluffy cow kind of sitting by one, and I got another little fluffy cow inside the big one. And I got some flowers that are just odds and ends because I couldn't find any actual fall foliage or anything to put in there. And then here is another idea. I've got the little pumpkin there. You can see the bottle we made from the last time, the last video, and you can also see I put foliage in there. If you don't want to do that, you don't have to. And there's our little pumpkin we made. And from last time, last video, this is the Halloween garland that we made. And then there's our little purple pumpkin that we made with some little flowers and stuff in. And the garland that we made last time. And other projects we made the last time. So there you have it. You can do other things with these little pumpkins besides stacking them if you don't want to stack them. And I think they look cute no matter how you put them. Okay, now I took a pumpkin from Dollar Tree and I am just going over it with nutmeg. I'm just about out of paint now here, so I'm kind of on the very, very bottom, just hoping it'll get me enough to get through here. And I'm going to put that on, and then I'm going to wipe it off just as if it was stained. And I'm just going to keep putting that on. Then I'll wipe it off. Then I'm going to do on the back, I'm going to paint it outrageous orange or pumpkin orange. I'm not exactly sure. Jack-o'-lantern orange. But either one will work. This may be actually jack-o'-lantern, but they look almost the same to me. So I'm just painting that with it's just acrylic paint and a flat brush. Okay, now right here after it dries, I'm drawing another pumpkin out of cardboard, and I'm going to cut it out because I wanted to make two of them and I only had the one little pumpkin, so I'm just doing one out of cardboard. Just gonna clip along there with them scissors. Okay, then I'm going to take a piece of paper and I'm going to trace out those parts of the pumpkin that stick up. I know a lot of people will just take their fingers and rub them around, and that works too. Now I'm just going to cut these pieces out. then I went on Pinterest and I purposely found some little clip arts that were free. They, first of all, said they were free, and second of all, there is no watermarks or copyright signs on these. And this is just a cute little pumpkin. It says pumpkin patch, or little cow, I mean. I'm going to get that situated. And then I'm going to cut out the middle piece with my little cow. If you don't know what a watermark is, it's maybe the name of the artist, or it might be the name of the company, and it's just a little print that's you can barely see in either the background or in part of the picture or something. And usually if they're watermarked, or if you see a copy where it says copyright, you know that it's one that you need to buy and pay for. Otherwise you'll get in trouble. These ones, none of them have that, because I purposely, just so you guys could know that you could find these free ones as well. And I'm just going to Mod Podge them on, get all the little bubbles and wrinkles and whoopsies out. Okay, then I'm going to turn it over when that gets dry. I let it dry. Now I'm cutting this one out too. This one was also a free one. The one on the front side was a fall one. This one is a Halloween one, more of a Halloween one. And because I wanted them to be reversible, I wanted to be able to use them for both Halloween and Thanksgiving. A lot of my projects, a real lot of my projects, I do that. On the front will be Halloween, and on the back will be Thanksgiving. That way you kind of get 2 for 1, and you know, all you got to do is flip them over. You don't have to, you know, put everything away and then get new stuff out. You can just kind of flip them over. And I'm just cutting out the cow. Them cute little cows. While I was filming this, I had it plugged in because my battery was low, so I had it plugged in. The problem is when I have it plugged in, it won't shut off if the Sims card runs out, and the Sims card ran out. So I'm going to have to just tell you and show you at the end parts of what I did, because it didn't get recorded. But they're all easy little things you will see. Then I go ahead, after that one dries a little bit, I turn it over and we Mod Podge on the top of this one. And then I let it dry. While it's drying, then I take my little pieces that I used for the cutouts, and I make some cardboard ones and cut them out, and then I glue them onto the pumpkin. And then I paint my pumpkin. One side will be the nutmeg and the other side will be orange, the outrageous orange or the jack-o'-lantern orange. Then when they dry, I Mod Podge on. I do the opposite on these ones. I put the Halloween one on the front with the pokey out parts, and I put the fall on the back one. And here's the finished projects. On the one to your left. Those that was the cardboard one, and I didn't like the edges of the cardboard, so I braided some jute and I put it in between the sections. And then I made a bow, and here you can see where I made the bows for these two, and I just made a loop and pinched them, tied them together, and I used a purple tulle from the dollar store and on that one, and some cow print ribbon that I got from Temu, and I stuck a little purple pumpkin on this one and a little orange pumpkin on the other one. Okay, now these are the fall sides. I did the same thing with the little bow. I did the orange tulle, and then I took a couple leaves, and glued them to the top. You can see at the very top of where the stem is, I just wrapped jute around it, and I just did a bow with my fingers, and then I glued a little leaf from the dollar store. It's a little glass leaf, a table thing, and wrapped the top stem with jute. That one had a loop to hang with, but I didn't put one on the others. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so very, very much for our new subscribers, and welcome to our channel. Thank you for taking your time out today. If you enjoyed this, please hit the like button, and please hit the subscribe button. And remember, you are awesome. Thank you. Goodbye.